once you sit, you're sad, just ground yourself and look at yourself. Like, just say 2-3 years behind. Materially, I'm not sure, but definitely you're evolved mentally. So you're already in a profit side.
Yeah.
So I think it's very important to have self-talk. Life itself is a challenge, and there's so many challenges that you go through, but there's something that at some point of life that you realize, okay, what is happening? So you really sit back and you relax and try to understand what is happening. And there's a phase everybody goes through in their life saying, why me? I mean, what is happening?
So how do you handle criticism, Mayuri? In your field, I'm sure there would be a lot of criticisms, comments on your acting or on what you're doing. So how do you handle all of that without letting it affect you personally?
So these are the evolution that's happening. Nobody's sitting home with a talent that's just in themselves. So there's a lot of opportunities for a lot of people to showcase it. So that's one innovation that I really love for the present moment. So it's nice to see all young people coming with scripts. So yeah, this is something that I really appreciate.
Hello and welcome to the IRE Talks podcast presented by GIBS Business School. Our today's guest is a perfect example of what it means to be resilient and make your life successful. From growing up in a humble background in Hubli and being a TV news anchor to becoming a successful actress and moving to OTT platform and giving a lot of successful releases, our today's guest is a perfect example of what it takes to be hardworking, to be resilient, and becoming a self-made personality. Over the years, she has won hearts through successful hits like, for example, Ashwini Nakshatra, a very popular TV series. She has also acted in Bigg Boss Kannada and has recently made her OTT debut with the serial Raakshasa. Please join me in welcoming Miss Mayuri Kyatari, a very self-made personality from being an actor, creator to now a successful actress in the TV and OTT platform industry. Hello, Mayuri.
Hello, ma'am.
Thank you for joining us for the IRE Talks podcast.
Thank you for having me here.
And we are really, really privileged and honored to have you here for our
That's
podcast.
very, very
today.
nice of you. Thank you.
Thank you. So, Mayuri, while we begin this podcast, one very obvious and one very basic question that I have for you is, if we talk about Mayuri, so who actually is Mayuri? If you had to introduce yourself beyond being an actor, beyond being a creator and an influencer, who do you think Mayuri is?
Yeah, I think this is a very nice question I've asked of lately. And I believe, as humans, we play so many roles as actors, as mother, daughter, and so many things. And somewhere we tend to forget the real me, who actually Mayuri is. So I would say that, with the experiences of all the roles I've played so far and sitting here right now with you, I would say I'm a witty, I'm a very happy and content soul that I see myself. So I think I'm a good human. And end of it, we all have to be that, apart from anything that you're doing in life.
Great. That's good to know.
Yeah.
So, Mayuri, while we were conversing, you told me how you started acting at a very, very young age.
Yes.
So, if I'm not wrong, you were planning to pursue your mass communication course in mass comm when actually Ashwini Nakshatra happened.
Before that.
Yeah. So, what do you say success is all about? Is success about all of that preparation that you do, or is it about an opportunity knocking at your door? So, what is success to you?
Well, I think I started off very young. So I hail from Hubli and I've been very independent at a very young age. Now, what is independent? Like when I say independent, majorly financially. So I started earning at a very young age. So I've done several jobs at that time. And I come from a normal family where parents were very clear about the fact that you want it, you get it. Like you have to earn it. So I think I was really blessed to have that kind of background. And I started off my acting. Acting just happened. I would say that it was destined to happen. So When I got the opportunity for Ashwini Nakshatra, that time I wanted to be a newscaster. I wanted to be a journalist and all of that because I would do a lot of anchoring. And that was my part-time income at a very young age. But when I got Ashwini Nakshatra, my mom was like, try it on. Like, if you want to, you can. And I came to Bangalore, I gave the auditions, I got selected, and tables just turned completely. So after that, I did a lot of projects, and here I am.
That's great. That's good to know. So, my next question to you is, Mayuri, you come from a very humble background, with parents having no connection with film industry, having no godfather, no prior industry experience in any form.
Very much.
So, this experience of whatever you've had in your life and what you are today, do you think any entrepreneurial lessons you've learned from this? Is there anything about entrepreneurship that this kind of an experience would have given to you?
Definitely, yes. I mean, as humans, we evolve, and as we age, like sometimes, it hits me hard even when I'm sitting and sipping a cup of coffee. I'm like, okay, so I am a mother. I have a small child running around asking me million questions on what is this, what is that. And that's when I wonder, fine, I am old. So I think as human, apart from being an actor and whatsoever, I've evolved a lot. I've learned a lot. And we still become. There's nothing that, I always believe that if you say, okay, fine, it's done, I've learned my lessons, everything is good and I'm all fine, that's never going to happen. You are going to evolve till the last breath of your life is what I always believe. And even today, I do learn so many things. So I'm very philosophical when it comes to my thoughts, when it comes to, the way I look at my life. So it has definitely groomed me. I'm evolving. I'm still becoming. And I have learned my own lessons in my own way.
That's great. That's great. Yeah. So anything that you would like to share with us in terms of maybe a big risk that you took in your career or in your life, which probably you think has shaped you become an individual that you are today? So any such risks that you can think about that, I did this and this was very, gutsy, or it was a risk that I took in my life?
I think, like when I was doing my +1, and there was a stage where I loved my family. I loved how humble we all are. And at that moment, I was like, I want more. I want something else. And my parents, I'm so blessed that they made sure I get good education, me and my sister. And the place I used to be around, we had a lot of children who come from real good families. And somewhere as a little girl in me, I was like, I also want clothes like that. I also want to live like that. So the spark happened when I entered that +1, 11th. I already decided that, okay, I am going to be independent, and financially especially. And somewhere that just carries on and on. I still remember at that age when I was in BCom, so I had borrowed some money from my mom, and I made sure that I returned back to her. And now when I look at it, I'm like, okay, so all of that has made me very organized in life. So it's very important to be independent in several aspects, I would say, mentally, financially, emotionally, psychologically. So when you know you're good enough for yourself, I think nothing else matters.
That's great. That's great.
Yeah.
So you have multiple opportunities coming your way, I'm sure, in different forms. How do you decide whether an opportunity is worth taking, or should you just let it go? So is there any particular plan that you have in your mind, or you just go by your gut feeling? So how do you decide?
See, I've been very fortunate when it comes to acting, particularly, if I have to say. So far, whatever projects I've done, everything's come to me. And with due respect, I've worked really hard for it. And I've done a lot of movies and daily soap and music videos. And I keep doing so many things. And everything comes to me. So that way, I'm very fortunate. But otherwise, to choose the right ones as of now with my lifestyle, I do think, because I am a mother. And, sometimes you have to think of, will this work for me? Can I give time? Because I'm very particular. Like if I take up one project, I make sure that I give my 100%. And if at all I'm not too sure about, if I'm skeptical about the fact that I won't do it better, I'd rather say that, okay, maybe next time. So I think I'm a little clear about what I want in my life. So it doesn't really matter because it's been, say, 13, 14 years now I'm in the industry, and you get actors, normally we're just asked, what are you doing? What are you doing? What are you doing? But somewhere we are also living our personal life. We also have our shifts, our, bumps and this and that. So I think I'm very okay about it. And as of now, the projects that I'm getting also, fortunately, is something that I can do really good with my personal life. So right now, I am focusing on my acting and promotions and all of that. Otherwise, yes, I mean, when it comes to big movies, I do think on, does it suit me? And it can be good, but will that work out for me is one question that only you can answer.
Yeah, that's great. That's nice. So I think that clarity of thought,
It's very
clarity of
important.
vision, direction,
Very much.
a balancing act between.
Absolutely. And you get organized also, as in you don't complain on what is in your table. Like, if at all you're just worried about what's coming, should I do everything, or should I check for, of course, I mean, success doesn't happen just like this. There is a thought, but most important is the action.
Actions. Yeah.
So I think action is something that I'm very much focused on, and I'm very, very organized. I do my gym, I do my this. So there's a beautiful cocoon that I've built for myself now. So which I genuinely walk through it. So it makes you feel content.
Yeah, that's so nice. That's so good.
Yeah.
So if I were to ask you, Mayuri, you have transitioned across films, across television, across reality TV and OTT as well. So how do you decide that, okay, now it's the time to reinvent myself? So is there something that you think about it, or you just take up an opportunity like we were just discussing, and then you decide, okay, now it's time to, probably turn the tables or maybe think differently. So how do you know that it's time?
See, I think when you're an actor, you get to do so many things. And now, because everybody is exposed to so many things, and everything is available, the information, the opportunities, but it's up to you on how you take it. And now when I have to categorize what I really love doing, so I used to take tuitions at a very young age, and I used to teach dance. I've worked for an insurance company. I've done anchoring. I've done acting. I've also done dubbing. So I love experimenting. So anything that comes to me, without my approach, and if it sounds interesting, I'm always ready to do something different, like say OTT. Now, OTT is something that is everybody's accepting with wider arms, and I'm doing a lot of projects with OTT, and it also helps my personal life. So, and also the dubbing. Like, I love voiceover, giving voiceovers. So I've done for films. So recently I just got a call that, would you do it again? So I'm like, why not? Every work has its own respect, and how you look at it from your eyes matters. It doesn't matter what the other person thinks, is what I feel. So I'm always experimental when it comes to my work. So, when I really get old, when I sit back and just look at it, like, what are the things that I've done? So, those are the moments I want in life, that, yes, I've broken the barriers. I've done everything. Yeah. So, yeah.
That's good. That's really nice. So how do you stay relevant in this industry, Mayuri, wherein we know that the trends are changing so fast with OTT and so many different things that are available for the consumers today? How do you stay relevant, and how do you make sure that the changing trends and customer preferences or the consumer preferences have, nothing to do with what you're doing right now?
Now, like I said, like when I started off, at that time, of course, there was development when it comes to technology, social media. So we are the age of awkward. Like, I remember having an awkward account. And so the millennials are somewhere, we have seen the other part and we are seeing this part. So somewhere it's like, everything, you have to adapt with everything. Those days, I remember as a young mind, I was very choosy. Okay, I want to do this, I want to do that. Like, there are some opportunities that I didn't do because I was conditioned with my thoughts that, okay, I am not going to do this. I'm not going to wear clothes like this. So I was conditioned. But now somewhere I feel like, when a character is trying to explain something to the audience and I'm giving a message to someone, I would definitely not mind doing something that's out of the box. And I am glad that I've done something like that. I've played cameos in big productions, like I've worked with Shuvanna, I've worked with Dhruva Sacha, where I am not the main lead, but I play a cameo which everybody accepted with some open arms. So it's very important to think from your brain. Brain by default plays game with you, so it's a mind game. So how well you listen to yourself is very important when you do not have a godfather,
Absolutely.
right? So, and because I do not belong to, my family do not belong to films,
Right.
for me, I had to be very responsible on taking my own decisions.
Absolutely.
And I hope that I'm doing it wisely.
Correct.
Yes.
So, what is one innovation in the entertainment industry which really excites you a lot? So, something which you feel, wow, this is amazing.
I think, like I said, there's pros and cons for everything. So there are so many complaints that I have on what's happening or how it used to be before. But at the same time, if you look at it, like if you say the glass is full, and if I had to add it in a positive note, the amount of people are working behind it. Back then, there were set of people, there were set of production houses and direction team that would approach things. But now there are so many newcomers.
Mhm.
And when you actually go to social media, if there's another part, there's a beautiful transformation that's happening, where I keep watching some of the documentaries on young kids doing amazing films and with the quality. So these are the evolution that's happening. Nobody's sitting home with the talent that's just in themselves. So there's a lot of opportunities for a lot of people to showcase it. So that's one innovation that I really love for the present moment. So it's nice to see all young people coming with scripts. So yeah, this is something that I really appreciate.
Oh, that's nice. That's nice. So I'm sure, Mayuri, with the kind of projects you do, whenever any project comes to you, I'm sure every project would require its own preparation and its own time and
True.
attention that you would have to give to it.
Yeah.
So what does your research process typically look like before you start a project? So how do you go about thinking about it, reflecting on it, and researching about it? So what does your research
See, that
mindset-
would happen a lot. Like as of now, the opportunities. Now, see, there's quantity and there's quality. So the number of projects that we get and the number of projects we do matters a lot. And as of now, somewhere because of a small gap that I had because of my motherhood, and now slowly I've started again doing a lot of projects. But back then, we would definitely work on some things, like say for example, back then even now we get synopsis, and there is a project detailing into it, so to understand whether I fit in there.
Yeah.
Could be a beautiful production, could be amazing, but do I fit in or not is something that we have to think of. And now the projects that I'm getting, somewhere fortunately everything is OTT and everybody is like, you're still the same how you used to be. So that's something encouragement I'm getting. So yeah, looking forward to do something more probably again.
That's nice.
Yes.
So, reflecting on what you just said about my previous question, how important do you think is continuous learning in a profession like yours, or in a field which people view simply as creative? How important do you think is continuous learning and evolving?
It's very important. I mean, if, like I just said, if you say that, okay, I'm done, I know everything, there's no way that you can also see what's happening the other way. So I think it's very important to always be grounded, to say that I'm still ready to learn, I'm ready to listen. So, and that one practice will somewhere make you more aware, more evolved. So there's nothing called as, yes, I've become, there's always becoming.
Yeah.
And that's something that everybody should adapt. And I truly believe in that.
That's great.
Yes.
So how do you handle criticism, Mayuri? In your field, I'm sure there would be a lot of criticisms, comments on your acting or on what you're doing. So how do you handle all of that without letting it affect you personally?
See, when it comes to critics, I think it's not just in our field. it's there everywhere.
Everywhere.
Like if you actually look at it, it's there everywhere.
Everywhere, yeah.
And me being like, I consider and I am a very positive person. And when it comes to criticism, it depends on where is it coming from. Do that particular subject deserve my energy? If no, no way. If yes, like say, for example, if there is a criticism coming in the family, I will probably take it up and probably discuss with the person, or I know how to handle it in my own way by letting out the energy how much it deserves. Otherwise, everybody have to say something about it. Say, for example, I'll give you one example. So when I delivered, I was like, say, probably 90 plus. I was really, really obese. And I had my own health issues, and, I was feeding and all of that. In those days, of course, as actors, you are asked a lot of questions. Why are you like this? What happened? Aren't you doing any projects? So that's all, already you're going through so much. And back then, I took that very okay. And fortunately or unfortunately, it was COVID. And I was all by myself. And then I took a challenge that, okay, I am going to lose weight. I'm going to be okay. Not for someone else, because I wanted to be happy with myself, because I've always been into fitness. And when I actually lost weight, and now is the question I get, why? I mean, why are you so lean? So somebody told me that, you should take it as motivation. Okay, somebody is telling me, why are you fat? Okay, I'll take it as motivation. Now somebody is telling me, why are you lean? Why should I even bother? Like, am I happy when I look at myself in the mirror, top to toe? Am I happy? Yes. So I think criticism is something, it stops when you understand it is criticism. So don't bother. It's okay.
Absolutely. So what has been the most challenging phase of your personal and professional life? Let's say, for example, anything which you feel, oh yeah, this was very challenging and I really took it up very nicely and gracefully and have learned from that challenge. Is there any such challenge that you had?
I think, life itself is a challenge, and there's so many challenges that you go through, but there's something that at some point of life that you realize, okay, what is happening? So you really sit back and you relax and try to understand what is happening. And there's a phase everybody goes through in their life saying, why me? I mean, what is happening? So I think that's the period somewhere as you grow up, I became a mother and so many things were happening. There was a transition phase. And when you're working, like say, there's a routine. So morning till night, you're doing acting, you're doing this, and suddenly you're just with a baby, and
it changes.
I'm like, what is happening to my life? And I'm an aunt. Okay, I have a niece and nephew. My sister has beautiful twins. And when I was an aunt, I was like, okay, if I be a mother, it's gonna be so easy for me. But only a mother knows what a mother is.
Reality hits you hard.
Don't ask. So I think that was a transition. Like even now, that's a phase. Like when I see my son, it hits me hard. I'm like, okay, I am a mother. I behave like one, because it's very difficult for me to really like act my age. I get that a lot. Like say, you look so young, you behave so young. What is it like? It's okay. No. Accept me the way you are. I mean, I am. Because I always feel like being a mother is not teaching. See, there's two generation that I have seen. Like I've seen my parents, and now I see the young people, the way they're practical. And somewhere being a mother, I feel I'm reliving my younger age, and that's how it reflects. So it's just learning and acceptance.
That's nice, Mayuri. So how do you balance, since you've been talking about motherhood and you've been talking about being a parent, an aunt, and we've been talking about your career and your profession, how do you ensure that you strike a balance between your career, between your personal life, professional life, being Mayuri, who she is? So how do you strike that kind of a balance, Mayuri?
It takes effort, of course, because nothing comes easy. And of course, if you want things easy, it's important to make sure your mind is easy. So, and that happens with, I do a lot of meditation, I do yoga, I work out, I eat home food. So all this sounds somewhere, is it interlinked with your thoughts? Yes, it is. Because it's very important to sit in silence. And off lately, the way everyone's rushing and running, and everybody wants to be something, I want to be something. But we tend to forget that we are already something.
Yeah.
It's important to analyze the fact that I am something, being grounded. And I always believe that, of course, when you in your hardships, it's important that we should see this. We should see the other people who have lesser than us. But I would say, look at yourself. Once you sit, you're sad. Just ground yourself and look at yourself. Like, just say 2-3 years behind. Materially, I'm not sure, but definitely you're evolved mentally. So you're already in a profit side.
Yeah.
So I think it's very important to have self-talk. It's very important to be your own good friend. Like, I always do a lot of grounding practice, and I make sure that the little girl in me still lives, and that definitely takes one step. But if you actually start doing it, it works wonders. You walk into the room with that energy of like, yes.
I agree with you so much on this, Mayuri. I think that is one thing which the people today are missing, that we don't sit back and reflect.
Definitely
like
not.
just said, everybody's running. But do we really sit down and reflect that I already have a lot that I have achieved, and can I just give some time to my own self?
So true. And it's science. It's science. Like, lately I've been practicing this. Whenever I'm feeling a little tired, a little cranky, first thing I do is, why am I feeling the way am I feeling? You search for an escape mechanism when things are not going right. You just want to go out or probably do something that would hide away your feelings. Instead, just sit. I understood the fact that, okay, I'm getting angry because I am PMSing. Already your problem is solved.
Correct.
So don't listen to your mind. Just keep going.
Yes. So I would want to do a rapid fire with you, Mayuri.
Sure.
But before the rapid fire, do you have any message for the younger generation of today? Anything that you would want to share with them or tell them, maybe a mantra or something?
Lovely. Younger generation. Okay. Considering myself young too, I would definitely say that, I always tell this to everybody possible, or also to myself. And most important thing in life is to really love yourself. I mean, it's the most underrated thing. Of course, now there's this new thing of, okay, skincare, hair care, and all of that. You're doing so much. But somewhere, ask yourself, are you really, like, throw away that phone, sit with the cup of coffee with yourself. Time is so precious. I mean, I'm not saying just leave everyone and run away, but I'm also saying that please sit with yourself, the acceptance, the grounding. I think that works wonders. And when you actually start loving yourself, trust me, you would definitely not need anybody, and everything comes to you by default.
Yeah.
That's my experience. So I think, give yourself that little love that you really deserve. So, yeah.
That's great. That's wonderful.
Yeah.
So let's get started with the rapid fire quickly. All right. Hubli or Bangalore?
This is tricky. Well, my destination is Bangalore, of course. But to choose one, it's very difficult. I would say that mere do aankh hai ye. Then yered kannu, because birthplace is Hubli, and I
Karma place is Bangalore.
Somewhere. And I ain't sure where next to go. But as of now, I think where you come from, it's a different feeling. So Hubli has my heart. So it's a different thing. It's a different feeling altogether. I don't know if you get it, but yeah, Hubli.
Films or OTT?
Nice. Acting. Anything.
It's both.
Again, opportunity is important. So I love acting. So any platform, it's a different way of work. But as of now, both. I would act in films as well as OTT.
All right, great. Yeah. One habit that changed your life?
Sitting in silence, meditation. Yeah. I mean, probably when I was very young, I don't know, for some reason, I was always fascinated with this meditation and, yoga. So I come from an Orthodox family where we were told, and we were somewhere they were told to do this, get up early, do that. But somewhere later on, like I ain't sure when that breakthrough happened, but when it happened, it was very good because I started questioning of why am I doing this? Like, it's very important to get there. So for some people, it just happens. For some people, they do it as a daily routine, and some people it just comes to you. And I think when it comes to meditation, sitting in silence, it has just I think I've really evolved in a different way when it comes to silence. So silence is very important.
That's nice.
Yeah.
One role closest to your heart.
One
Role closest to your heart.
one rule is
Role, your own role.
my role. Okay.
Yeah, one role.
My role, I think all the characters that I've played has a different place in my heart. But when it comes to one particular project, like say that was my third movie, it's called as Kariya 2.
Mhm.
So I've played a beautiful role in that. But why is that movie so important for me is because I'd lost my father at that time. And those days, I used to hear people saying that, this person has lost someone and they're just still enacting and they're still doing it, that dedicated they are. But when you're in it, like I was in Hubli and so many things were happening, sudden transition, my mom's coming here. And parallelly, I had my commitment of shooting. And life sometimes gives you a kind of break. I go to the set, I finished all that 13 days of all the procedures, everything. I come to the set, and the scene is my father's dead, and I have to act like in the movie. I am like, God is just showing me my life. It's a different feeling. So I still remember the scene also in that's recorded. It's me who's broken off completely. So that particular project will be very special to me because only I know how I've woken up, how I've showed up, like how I've shown up. So I think that project will always be very special to me.
That's nice. So one
Yes.
last question.
Yes.
One dream that you still want to achieve.
Only one dream. So many dreams, So dream is a very tricky thing, ma'am, I would say. Like, I was just thinking about it and talking to one of my friends about it recently. There are so many dreams that you dream, right? And some you achieve. And for a lot of reasons, some dreams just break off. Like, say, so there was one beautiful property that I owned, and the interiors and everything was handpicked, and with so much effort I'd done that because as a girl, like as that little girl, I always wanted to have my space.
Mhm.
But it so happened that that project didn't work, and I no longer live there, or I don't even own it anymore. But the thing is, that was a dream which was fulfilled. But now, you will dream 100 dreams, but only the person knows how it feels to redream something that's already broken.
Yeah.
So, dream is something beautiful, okay? And I always wonder a lot, imagine a lot. So, when something's gone out of your life, you get scared to dream that again because what if it breaks again? So, I think dream big. I mean, really dream big. It's okay if it hurts. It's okay if it's broken. It's okay if it's not happening now, but the feeling that you get when you actually close your eyes and really dream, like that girl, just imagine, okay, I'm going to redo it. It takes effort. You get overwhelmed. Somewhere you yourself question, will I? But yes, you will. Because at the end, it will happen. Universe is all yours. It's just the mind game. So that's how you evolve. So dream. Just dream big.
That's amazing. That's
Yeah.
amazing, Mayuri. Thank you so much
Thank
for
you.
being on our podcast. Thank you so much
Thank
for being
you.
so candid about your experience and about sharing your true feelings. So I think
Yes.
through today's podcast, people would have got to know the real Mayuri,
100%.
who Mayuri actually is. And I
Yes.
think you very beautifully expressed yourself.
Thank
So
you, ma'am.
so
Thank
much.
you. You were so kind. Thank you so much. She actually waited for me for 20 minutes, and I appreciate your patience.
Thank you so much all the time.
Yes. So all the very best, everyone. So this is such an esteemed institution I've always heard of, and amazing personalities have spoken at your podcast, and I'm really honored to be here. Thank you
Thank
so
you
much.
so much. Thank you, Mayuri, for being with
Thank
us.
you.
Thank you for joining us for the IRE Talks podcast, brought to you by the GIBS Business School. I'm sure our learners today had a lot of learning and a lot of insights on what it means to build a career of purpose, what it means to starting from nowhere and becoming something great in your field, in what you are doing. For more insights, please continue to follow us on our social media handles @GIBS IRE Talks Podcast, @GIBS Business School. Until then, it is your host, Dr. Pallavi Vyas, signing off for today, and we would meet you in the next session very soon.